This has been a wonderful journey, but a quite complicated one as well. I was completely broke, I had no money, no backup gift plan, and I had just time, a laptop, and a little bit of love-fueled desperation. So I built my boyfriend a video game from scratch for his birthday. And here's a retrospective on how it went day by day. It all started with a very simple problem. I had absolutely no money. I had just graduated, I was job hunting, and I couldn't afford a proper birthday present. But I did have time. And in that moment, something clicked. If I can give him something bought, I'll give him something that I made with my time. And in my mind, it popped a slightly ridiculous idea. What if I can build him a video game? So, to keep it a surprise, I even blocked him, not in a dramatic way, just to build this in public. And I just hid my stories and posts so he couldn't suspect anything. I opened my laptop, downloaded LibreSprite, and dove into the world of pixel art. I'd never done it before, but after a few messy attempts, I just kinda got the hang of it, and I'm very proud about this. I drew him as the main character, a little pixel art version of him, and our cat Paolino as a sort of moral supporting sidekick. I was drawing on trains and beds everywhere. I just locked in. Wall cycle, jump animation, idle pose, and by the end of the day I was exhausted. But those first little sprites were finally alive. I had no sound, no code yet, just art, but I could already see this little tiny world forming, and that was like the best thing ever. So, for the next couple of days, I moved back at my parents' for just visiting, basically. But there I had more silence, more focus, and basically no fear of being discovered on what I was doing. Today's goal were tiles and parallax. The ground tiles were literally a nightmare. I'm not joking. And no matter what I did, they didn't match up. The corners were weird, and every time I thought I had a clean pattern, I spot some mistakes. And I was so unsure the whole time I was making it, just because of this. So I took a break, breathed in, and looked at it differently. I started with the color palette instead. I used his profile picture, the one with the purple beanie, as an inspiration. And I built the world with purples and soft pinks, with pops of yellow for contrast. Once the colors started to speak, everything flowed better. Then came the parallax. 3 layers, slow background, medium middle, and fast foreground. It sounds simple, right? But it was not. I struggled a lot trying to find everything, trying to make something that could have a meaning for him. But at the end, I could see the depth of the world I was creating. By the end of the day, the visual skeleton was in place. I had no proper gameplay yet, but the world looked like a world now. Okay, on the tree. I had enough with the art, and I was so psyched of start coding and finally make the things run. It was basically a very chaotic day, and I could only work at night, to be honest, but I cracked open my dusty JavaScript skills and I started coding the basics. First attempt, nothing appeared, nothing. Then things appeared, but not where they should have been. Tiles vanished, overlapped, and redrew themselves randomly. It was a nightmare. It was classic layering issue. So I made tea, cried a little, stared at the code for a while, and then started adding logs. I adjusted the tile indices on layer orders and it finally worked. It was not a real game yet. Just bear with me. But for the first time, I saw everything coming in place. And finally, the word was on. And honestly, the little thrill when it actually works, it never gets old. I'll do it another million times. Today was a physics day, or my attempt at gravity and camera movement. And spoiler alert, I broke everything. I added gravity, linked the camera to the character's position, and the tiles started sliding around weirdly. Some disappeared altogether. Eventually, I figured it out. I was actually using transform translate x on the whole world and scale x minus 1 on individual tiles, which cancelled each other out, basically. Basically, I was overwriting my own transforms without even realizing it. I know, rookie mistake. I'm not really expert at coding, I'm just starting out, but the fix, I created a parent level layer for the camera and moved everything inside it. That way the camera could scroll and each tile could still have its own transform without breaking. Then I added the surprise blocks, the kind you hit from underneath to understand each other, and made the currency items, cola bottles as the coins, and burger as power-ups. It was very ass. It's basically an inside joke. This was the first time the game actually started feeling like a gift and not just a project. And it kinda spoke our language. I don't know how to say it. It was a very wonderful moment because I could see it coming together and I could see our inside jokes becoming the reality. This was the very last day. I had to finish everything and I was not ready. So first I implemented the interaction. When you grab the Coke, it disappears and it adds points. And when you grab a burger, Paolino or Cat appears to help you out, like when we eat and we are eating something meaty and it comes near you and stays near you till the end of the meal. So I thought it was cute. I just thought it was cute. Then I added the enemies, the spiders. They crawl around and collide with the player, but I had to add how Paolino interacts with them. So I quickly added Paolino's behavior to make sure he could bump into the spiders and help the player. It worked, kind of. Bugs started popping up everywhere. I fixed one and 2 more showed up. You know how it goes. It was past midnight and I still had to build the actual level, not just random test blocks like I did before. I rushed, placed the forms, fixed the logic, added background levels for extra cozy vibe. My eyes were burning. Every line of code felt like lifting bricks, but I kept going because I just remembered why I was doing this. It wasn't just a portfolio project, it wasn't for school, it was a real and proper gift built with love, frustration, and more debug logs than I care to admit. Finally, I hit run. The tiny silence before the window opened was everything, and the next day I got to see his interaction. That melted my heart. I finally made it, and I just closed my laptop with a shaky smile and my heart full. And the next day, I actually got to see his face, and that was everything. At the time, I actually saw why I did all of that, and it was the most beautiful feeling in the world. I didn't buy him something, I gave him my time, my effort, my love, or inside jokes, and I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. Thanks for watching. If you ever made a gift from scratch, even if it wasn't perfect, tell me about it in the comments. I love to hear your story. If you're asking why I didn't film his reaction, it's because I wanted to keep that moment for us, and I don't feel like it's very important. I liked it. I know it's important to me, but I have to say that I didn't feel comfortable actually publishing such a private moment. That's about it. So I'm sorry if you wanted to see his reaction, but I figured also you'd be more interested in the gameplay as it is. So that's it. Have a lovely day.